CLG Red actually won that 2-0, but it was very, very close. It was Mirage for the first map, and it was actually really, really close. And then it went to, I think it was Dust 2 or Inferno. I think it was Dust 2, and the CLG Red squad just beat them up.
Nice. Cool.
But it was really fun to see, and I think it was actually on CSGO Lounge for that too, which people were actually, we had good viewership for it. Whole weekend was fun.
Except for the getting your car towed kind of part.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. I definitely appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I did get my car towed. Apparently, I parked in a place where I shouldn't have parked, and it ended up costing me a lot of money. But here I am. So we're just going to get this one underway. CLG is going to be starting on the CT side. That's going to be Tarek, Cutler, JDM, Hazed, and Finesse, facing off against Hades, Wabbit, Ocean, Desi, and Els. And we'll see if Follow Esports can get more than that 8 rounds that Moses thinks they're going to get here.
Yeah, that would be stellar for them. That'd be a really good start. And actually, they've come out with this, a pretty solid plan. It looks like ESEA and Ocean both having utility, but look at CLG. They're going to get aggressive. Cutler's just going to push right up mid early on, and this is very aggressive. He has so much information now. He knows they're not here. No one's watching this whatsoever. Now, that could lead towards an A hit or a B hit, but this is going to be a fake towards the A bomb site. Actually, no, it's going to be a hit onto the A bomb site, but no one's going to be coming up ramp. It's going to be 3 members coming from underpass, and they've been spotted out already.
Yeah, and actually, Finesse popping one shot there off a catwalk, catching his teammate in the toe, but that's a great find for Cutler early on in this round. Hades losing the bomb there, and now they're going to push back through this smoke, and Tarek's already over here by jungle. He's going to be able to spot out another one. They're going to go to blows. Wabbit's going to be able to find that frag. So even strength 3-on-3, they're trying to move this bomb up, but they're going to walk right into Hazed, and he just drops both Desi and Wabbit, and it's going to just be on Ocean now to try to make something happen. But all 3 of the CTs are going to be right over here in mid watching this bomb like hawks, and it's just going to be a nigh impossible feat for him to be able to clutch this round out.
Yeah, that strategy was kind of doomed from the start. So much information gathered by CLG Ocean. He's going to try and push him towards window, but he's going to have to find Hayes, who's holding this corner. He's having himself a great round. 2 very, very nice kills, and is Ocean going to check this? Not quick enough, at least. Hayes drops him for his 3rd headshot. Really well done by him. Doesn't even get tagged. He's just holding that jungle area. Very, very good. That strategy was all just... That was... They smoked off Connector, they smoked off the stairs, and the 3 members from Follow Esports were supposed to come up that underpass and blow up through their own smokes. I mean, they really got thrown a wrench into their plans when they got spotted out. I mean, Cutler was pushed up mid. They had JDM jump out a window, spot him in underpass. So from there, it's like it doesn't matter. You can't explode through that smoke and catch them off guard anymore. They know exactly what's happening.
So it is going to be an eco round here. A bit of a force up. They do have Tech 9s and some armor on some of the players. Hades going to be boasting that Desert Eagle as well, but pretty much unanimous on rifles here for the CT side with the exception of Finesse, and it's just going to be a bum rush into this A bomb site. They might actually get in and get a bomb plant, but not without a smoke on CT spawn. That's going to be Cutler taking them down. He's just going to spam Ocean, drops him. Finally, a return freight comes out. Els is going to be able to take 2 more with him. That's going to leave it on just Finesse and Tarek, so a little bit of a costly round here. Finesse still going to go to battle here, but Els with that body armor, he's not going to get aim punched too bad. Tarek does chime in with that final kill, 2-0 now, but they took a lot of guns out of the hands of the CT force.
Yeah, and actually, a small mistake. They only salvaged 1 of the M4s. 2 were bought up by CLG. Nice eco round from Follow Esports, even without that bomb plant, getting those 3 kills. And still, CLG's only able to bring 1 of the M4s into the next round, so JDM's going to be on that MP7. He's spent a lot of money so far, so he's not going to be able to have that up next round unless he can rack up some kills with this MP7, stay alive. But some good economic damage done, even without investment into smokes and flashes. I mean, that could have been a completely different round if Follow Esports had some nades to work with.
And actually, to kind of harp on that a little bit more, that was even more like a double mistake there because Tarek actually had a FAMAS and dropped it to try to find an M4 and ended up losing the FAMAS and getting the MP7. So just a quick round here at the B bomb site, double nade to finish him off. And I heard that you were a little bit impressed by somebody calling out a Rodman on a nade kill the other day.
Oh, that was this morning. Big fan of Rodman being from Michigan, Detroit, the Pistons bad boys. He was part of that crew, so... I just thought it was funny. There was like a million Kobe spams, and then 1 Rodman just popped up out of nowhere. Steve
Kerr. So again, just 3-0. First gun round coming out, and actually JDM does have the AWP, so we're going to see that up-on-up battle. Wabbit, he's really going to have to be online here. He's really going to be able to hit these shots. And there it is. First blood is going to be in the hands of Follow Esports as they are going to have that man advantage real early and a lot of mid control. They're going to speed things up here towards Cat, and this is going to be where Finesse is playing. And they're just going to barrel on through. And, oh, he can't line it up at first, and he only gets one out of the two that push that smoke. Wabbit's going to find a second one as well, but it's going to be Tarek to try to hold on here by bench side, trying to make something happen. He does have his teammate JDM rotating in, but he gets caught from the side, and Els finishes off both of them. So first gun round goes the way of Follow Esports. Very quick.
Yeah, that's tough. CLG just not able to recover. Hayes just gets picked off really early, and that's a little bit scary because we talked about if Wabbit's able to heat up and have a really, really good game, he's the one that can have a massive impact on this matchup. And there he is. He starts it out well, gets that opening pick, and from there, Esports just picks up the pace. And they're staying grouped up. I mean, there wasn't too much tactical influence in that round. They just stayed grouped up, got that kill, and bullied their way up cat. Finesse was only able to get one playing from behind the smoke. So nicely done from them, but now we see more mid-aggression. Finesse gets the first one. He gets a second one as well. And there's Hayes with the deagle.
Oh, wow.
He grabs onto Ocean. So all of a sudden, this round is just blown completely up. All in CLG's favor.
I was going to say, Els is pretty much almost as good as dead because of so much mid-control. They actually had a player that jumped up on top to spot the underpass, and Els was going to walk right into that, but luckily he falls back in time. Does get spotted out by that player that's up there. I believe that was actually, it was probably, well, I'm not really sure. I think it was actually Hayes that jumped up there. But now, this round just gets completely turned around, and now they've got a double-up setup here on the CT side for free, which is nuts.
Yeah, they caught Follow Esports off guard. That was probably the last thing that the terrorists expected them to do, was just, you know, with some light utility. Hayes only had that deagle, but they just go straight up mid and bring the fight to FE and just decimate them. So now there's an opt peering down towards A ramp. JDM's got that. This is exactly where FE's going to come for the play. And he unscopes at the wrong time, and now that allows Hades to get up and just clean him up. But Cutler's hiding on top of the balcony. He's got a 5-7. They're not going to check this. Going to plant inside the smoke, but Cutler's just going to bide his time, and he's going to get that first kill onto Elsa. The bomb planter's stuck into the site, and where do you go from here?
Yeah, really tricky spot for Hades to be. He's at least got that smoke for cover, but it doesn't make a difference. Cutler's just going to execute him. The only saving grace from that round is the fact that they did get the bomb down. But nevertheless, I mean, four-man stand here for the CT side. They're going to try to get as much money as they possibly can with those more expensive rifles. And after 5 rounds, it's 4-1 for Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, the big point is they just reset the economy. So a win goes the way of Follow Esports, and even with that plant, they can't buy here. They'd have to force up if they wanted to with some Tech 9s, and they might actually do that just halfway. You know, if you want to go light armor, invest in some nades as well. But nothing too major is going to come out from the Follow Esports side. So CLG just steal one right back. And that's the tough part. On TRS side, if you keep getting your economy reset like this, it's going to be a really, really long half of just getting beat up. So moving forward, Follow Esports has got to be very, very cautious that they can win those second rounds.
Yeah, you get into that rotation of buy, lose, save, and that's not the side that you want to be on when that happens. Obviously, Follow Esports looking to rack up as many rounds as they can here on the T side, and that's not the start that they're looking for, as JDM and Finesse going to drop 2. And still looking for a little bit of that mid-control, as one player is coming out from underpass. It's going to be Hades with the Tech 9, but Finesse up on top. Hayes is there for the trade, and nothing doing so far in this round whatsoever, as Finesse going for the 3K. And 5-1 now for Counterlogic Gaming. They're starting off hot in this matchup. With getting that round trade and resetting that economy just allows them to get that round for pretty much free.
Yeah, now we're going to see a buy out of Follow Esports once again. But they can't afford an AWP on Wabbit, so we'll have to see how they're going to manage it, because that one kill that he got in their one round win was kind of the crucial one. That picked off Hayes in middle, gave him so much control of catwalk and middle that they were able to just bully their way into the B site. So without that AWP, where do they choose to go? And it looks like they're lining up over at the A bomb site for just a massive smoke execution onto the site. Hades is going to be in middle. He's playing, there's a deep smoke on catwalk for him to cross over to the boxes, and he's just either going to lurk this or try and cut off rotations. But Cutler and Hayes, they're going to have some work to do pretty soon here.
Yeah, you see this kind of a strat come out all the time on this map. You probably just see 4 of them explode on there, and then Hades is just going to bide his time, come up through connector, and try to get that flank kill on that player that's playing over by stairs, which is actually hazed right now. And he's just perched up there, so Desi's got to be real careful coming out through these halls. He actually misses the flash, doesn't go out the way that he wanted it to, but now they've been alerted that, hey, there's at least one player that's up here in Palace. Might be a little bit of an A hit, so you can see kind of cheating over a little bit is JDM here in window room, and he's actually going to push all the way over towards jungle and try to spot this out. There it is, Hades, pardon me, comes out from connector, finds Hazed, takes him down. And that's going to be even strength here. JDM going to miss an AWP shot, and they're going to have Wabbit pushing on through. And, pushing back on through that smoke as JDM finds one. And Desi, playing back firebox, is going to be able to find one. Takes down Finesse as well. And it's a 2-on-3 post plant.
Yeah, Desi with good positioning. Cutler doesn't clear that corner when he jumps up on the boxes, and now Tarek gets caught with the nade out in his hand. That's a Molotov. It's going to try and burn Desi out, but it's not going to spread far enough. He just gets to chill. So this retake is going to be difficult. They have to clear that out. Tarek's trying to peek fire with the Tech 9. forces him out into the molly, gets that kill, down to just Ocean, and Tarek close up, 4 bullets left in the Tech 9. He's got to hit the headshot, and he misses it. So a really good chance here with the smoke, and Ocean cannot find JDM inside of it. That's going to be a defuse for CLG. It's going to be their 6th round, and Follow Esports looks so good, but it gets stolen away.
Yeah, he had a great opportunity there, but JDM actually dropping that flash at the last second, too, just skewed his vision just enough that he couldn't line that up in the smoke, and there you go. CLG steals it away again, and that is going to be another gun round here. That bomb plant helps the economy a little bit for the Follow Esports side, but again, it's going to be very, very limited. You can see Wabbit, he's not really able to pick up that AWP again so far in this matchup, and he was really kind of the difference maker in that first round win that they had.
Well, you can also see he chooses to just save here. All he's got is a P250, so relying on his teammates to do the damage, and that means the next gun round that comes out, because they're going to have this losing bonus built up, especially with some of these plants, if they can get another one, the next time a buy round comes around, he'll definitely be able to have an AWP, but for this round, he's at a severe disadvantage, and he's got to try and recycle an AK-47.
So you can see they're grouping up here in halls. Finesse is going to take the peak, spots out Elza. And that's going to relay a lot of information. Didn't see the bomb carrier up there, but nevertheless, actually spamming through that smoke. I think that was Desi at A ramp. Tags down JDM over by Ticket Booth to 68. So nice awareness from him to start the round off. A little bit of damage going out. And again, you can see Wabbit. He's actually got the bomb on his back. He's over there in the B halls as well, joined by Elsa. Ocean's over here by Catwalk. They do have mid control on the terrorist side, but what can they do with it right now? And they've got Hayes going to peek out here to connector. Flashbang goes over the top. That's not really going to do enough. And JDM with the AWP is going to be able to spot Hades pushing up in that direction. Desi does find JDM, so that's the up down already here on that CT side. Now look, Finesse is actually going to abandon that bomb site, leaving Tarek all by himself. Pop flash around the corner. He's going to be looking for 1, maybe 2. He's going to spot for some backup now, but coming off Catwalk as Ocean trades it out, and now they're going to get that free bomb plant in this B bomb site. The rotation a little bit off, and you can see actually coming back through the halls, there's going to be a little bit of a gunfight here. Finesse is going to win that Desi down and out.
Yeah, trying to retake this site. They do have Ocean over towards Catwalk. Wabbit still playing in the bomb site, trying to hold the angles. He spots one and mark it. He's going to see one jumping out the window, can't land that shot, so his position is given up. Now they know where both players are. And swinging around the site, Wabbit's going to lose that fight to Cutler, and it's all left to just Ocean, who's got to peek off Catwalk. He's got 3 people to deal with. Dinked immediately, though, but he's got them low. He can find that kill, he does, but there is a kid on Finesse's side, so he's going to win this one out. And CLG with another retake is going to break the heart of Follow Esports. Now with that plant, there's going to be a buy next round anyway, so Follow Esports not out of it quite yet. They can still buy up in the next round, and like we mentioned, Wabbit's safe, so he's going to have an AWP.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting there that they were as successful as they were with the player so gimped on their side, but getting those entry frags, trading Tarek out immediately after he only gets 1 kill. He had a great opportunity to actually get the bomb down there in the B halls, but strafing out a little bit too wide, and without having any backup on Catwalk, he just gets traded immediately. So good look there from Follow Esports. It's just a shame these last couple of rounds have come down to 1v1s that they end up losing.
Yeah, well, it's surprising that CLG, they didn't really have very much mid control that round. That's kind of what allowed Follow Esports to get up Catwalk, is with that rotation with Finesse. You know, they kind of lost that control of Catwalk from not having mid. This time they pushed Finesse all the way up with JDM supporting him, and he's not going to spot anything in back mid. So this is really intriguing. He's going to get a very fast flank going on. There is still Elsa watching for it as he comes out of these B tunnels, and he's going to catch Finesse with his knife out. There's a free kill, but they pretty much do know it's going to be an A hit. So now Hayes is going to have a huge shot to do close up to this A ramp.
And look at Tarek. He's actually pushing all the way through the B halls. He might be able to take Elsa down, and he does. So trading aggression with more aggression, they're going to be able to trade that 1 for 1. But the push is coming towards A, and you can see Hayes so aggressive here on the A ramp. He drops to Desi, and now it's going to be the man advantage going the way of the terrorist side of Follow Esports. They got to push through that Molotov. They're taking a little bit of damage, actually a lot of damage. Ocean down to 863, and they're still trying to trade these out. And Wabbit's finally going to be able to find one, but Tarek lines him up in the end, and Follow Esports again, losing a 2v1 at the end of that round. And these rounds have just been so incredibly close. It could be a completely different story right now, but CLG continually coming out on top.
Yeah, Tarek just had a really, really good jump on the rotate. And instead of flanking all the way around, he just went up connector. And because his teammates were applying so much pressure, I mean, he just chooses, and smartly with his teammates, he's staying the aggressive one. So he runs right through that smoke on stairwell, and they're just lined up for him. So an easy spray down. Another buy at a Follow Esports with a full losing bonus in their pockets. But I mean, Cutler inside the bomb site that round was just hiding, biding his time, but he gets 2 really, really crucial kills to keep them, you know, in that round in terms of player count, brings it back to a 2-on-2, and from there it's all CLG. So here comes that execute onto the A bomb site once again.
Yeah, and this time Wabbit with only an AK. There's the Molotov onto the A ramp to try to negate that push, but they're just going to push on up here. You can see Elsa actually getting dropped early. That smoke not all-encompassing of that CT spawn, and a gap in the smoke here by the stairs, and Hayes is going to net himself 3 big kills there, leaving Desi in a 1 versus 3. He only gets 1, but the quad, actually the ace on the round from Hayes.
All because one smoke missed, and there was a second one that missed over towards CT spawn, so Cutler was allowed to sit back and take a few pop shots and just, you know, delay that push from coming in. He was able to just hold him back long enough, but what a round from Hayes. He's playing very, very good this match. He's up at 12-5, Tarek's at 11-4, and CLG just laying it on thick. Now, even with the losing bonus in their favor, Follow Esports just not going to buy up this round. They're going to save one more time, and now they're going to get that off back in Wabbit's hands, and that's the crucial part, because they haven't had success since they went away from that.
Well, early pick going the way to JDM through the smoke in top mid. Hades going to go a little bit aggressive out through Palace. They might be able to catch JDM out, and they do. Wabbit with the long-range Desert Eagle is going to be able to find that kill, but now they got to deal with Hazed over here, and he's actually going to take 2 shots from the Desert Eagle down to 30 HP himself. A little bit of a miscue on that flash from Finesse, but it doesn't really matter. There's nobody up in the B halls, and again, they're going to rotate that bomb. Well, it looked like it was going to go back through T-spawn. It is going to go back through T-spawn, so they might feel that there's going to be a little bit of an opening over here at the A-bomb site. Wabbit under fire at the top side of mid. Now the AWP in Hazed hands. He's just going to decapitate him with a well-placed bullet from that AWP. And now the bomb dropped in T-spawn. Not a lot that they can do on the Follow Esports side except try to take a gun or 2 out of the hands of the CTs. But they've, well, I was going to say they've stacked up money here at a 9-1 scoreline, but because those rounds have been so close, they really haven't gotten much of a money advantage here. One round might reset the economy.
Yeah, very well could. I mean, they've been unfortunate in some of these rounds with what it's come down to. A lot of one-on-one victories. I think there was about 3 in a row that it came down to just one player on the CLG side. So you're right, the bank's not built up. There is a little bit of opportunity here, but Hayes is going to be longer into this op. Watching for Palace, but he had like 2 HP, so Desi just cleans him out. But Cutler's going to find that kill. Now, it's pretty important that they actually manage to save this op, which they do. They get there quick enough. So 10-1 now. Follow Esports is going to have a full buy. Whatever they want, whatever they could need is going to be in their pockets for this round, and they've got to win, you know, at least 3 rounds. They need to get to, you know, 10-5, 11-4, obviously as many as they can get, but they need to give themselves some kind of a window of opportunity for the second half.
10-5 obviously being best case scenario here, and if they are able to win out this half, that would put them in a pretty decent position in the second half. It's going to give them a little bit more wiggle room if they do manage to lose the pistol, but right now Counterlogic Gaming just capitalizing, and again, Hayes going to be aggressive here in mid. Hades sitting back, just waiting for this push to come out. Does have a teammate in tow, but that teammate is going to fall back. That was Ocean over there as well. But again, you know, switching the pace up on CLG side, and this is one of the things that they actually do really, really well. You said that this is a team that likes to play 2 terrorist sides on almost every map that they play. They like to get in the face of the T side very early on in a lot of rounds. Doesn't really matter what map they're playing on. They just push unrelentingly, and most of the time it pays off.
Yeah, it's definitely paid off in this matchup. They used that kind of a switch, that mid-aggression to just push up middle, you know, immediately reset the economy and Follow Esports early on in this half. So they've done a good job with it. This time it looks like it's going to be a fake from Follow Esports. Here comes the execution over towards A. The bomb and one other waiting in B tunnels, but Finesse isn't going to get fooled by it. He's just going to sit and wait patiently. JDM gets a kill, but they're right beneath them. Elsa and Ocean both combined for a couple. This is going to start the rotation from Finesse. So he's lost enough teammates over at the A bomb site that he feels he needs to come over here, and he's actually considering it, but there's one coming through the window. He spots it. Now he knows. Now he knows it's a fake. He knows they're in the B bomb site. He's just got to wait for his backup.
And Wabbit with the poor position there. He's going to get taken down, so it's Hades versus 3. Post-plant. Not a whole lot that he can do here. Let's see if he's able to clutch this one, because a lot of these rounds have been so close. But Finesse makes sure that doesn't happen. Takes him down, survives with 22 HP, the 3K on the round, and that's going to be an 11th round now for CLG. And even with that money bonus, this if they decide to buy up here, it's going to be very, very forced. Yeah, but they do. They really do.
They just need more rounds. And that was a really, really nice run out of Finesse. Staying at that B-bomb site very long, making sure he's not getting faked. And even when he rotates, he's not just pulling his knife out and running, you know, willy-nilly. He's actually he's being cautious. And he spots one trying to come through jungle and through the murder hole. So he's able to get that kill. And from there, he just uses that information, knows it's going back to the B-bomb site, and he cleans up those last 3 kills. So very aware play out of Finesse that round. Very cool to see. And this is actually feeling a little bit like deja vu, because the last time these two teams played, Follow Esports only got 2 rounds on their terrorist half. It was a full 15-round half, and they only managed to pull off 2. And right now they haven't even gotten to that quite yet.
Looks like we do have a tactical pause, and we're going to see a double scope setup here on the CT side. So, you know, obviously they figure something's going to be up. They know Wabbit's going to have the op now because of that money bonus that's rattled up, as well as that bomb play in the last couple of rounds. I mean, you can see they've actually gotten the plant, what, 4 times in this first half. They just haven't been able to defend because the rotations have been so fast and so on point from CLG every single time they come back into the bomb site. And they just, you know, you can't get good post-plant positioning. It came down to a 1v3 in the last round, so there really wasn't much Hades could do. But on those A retakes, obviously, you know, Cutler in that sort of forced buy round that he only had a 5-7 in, playing patiently up on balcony, it gets the last 2 kills out of it. They do get the plant, but again, Hades gets stuck in the site, doesn't have an opportunity to get that post plant at all. So it's really, really difficult for Follow Esports because of the way that Counterlogic Gaming are just reading the game right now. They're just able to swarm these bomb sites every single time that they get in.
The real thing, round 7, round 8, and round 9 all came down to one CLG player, and Follow Esports wasn't able to win any of them. And if they win, you know, round 8 or 9, they probably break the economy of CLG, and they maybe get 2 to 3 rounds off that just off the bat, just out of default. So this could be a completely different half if they had just managed to win one of those. It's just CLG coming on top in all the clutch situations, all the close rounds going their way. A little bit unfortunate for Follow Esports.
Yeah, and it's like you said, I mean, those are really the only 3 rounds that were even remotely close in this matchup. Everything else was basically, except for that first anti-eco round after winning Pistol, it's been 3 or more players alive the entire time for CLG. So now they're going to start building up that economy. And at this point in the half, it's, I mean, if they win 2 in a row, they could break them, but they've only got 2 rounds to do it anyway. So it's not really likely that they're going to get too much out of this half.
Yeah, Wabbit trying to come up A-ramp very, very quickly, had a pretty good spawn for it, but can't find the shot. The smoke plumes soon enough that he can have no success. So Desi over towards the B bomb site playing solo, as he often does on all the teams he's been on. He's either going to be a lurker or he's going to try and just make something happen by himself. He's got 2 people to deal with here, Tarek and Finesse. They're doing a little bit of a bait combination. Desi's going to smoke things out and slowly just try and get a pick into the site, and actually he's mollied off behind him, so he can't retreat even if he wants to, but this is forced no rotations yet. He's sighted nobody. He's trying to peer out around this smoke, but he can't find anything, so really, CLG just has to be patient, wait for this A-hit to come into play.
And yeah, you can see they're actually finding their gaps in these smokes, and Hayes is going to find Hades. Desi does manage to find Tarek, but Hayes is just raining down death from above with that AWP finally silenced by Wabbit, but that's all they're going to get. They did manage to find Tarek over in that B-bomb site, but Desi gets traded immediately by Finesse. They played that double, I guess, double balcony at the B-bomb site, and it's a pretty nice play on the van side. But again, just Follow Esports. They don't even get a whiff of that bomb site, and another 3-man stand for the CT side of CLG.
Yeah, and that was a game plan out of Follow Esports. That was what they called out of a pause. So they either needed to wait a little bit longer for Desi to try and do something, but I guess they got a little bit antsy, maybe wanted to try and speed things up, but before Desi even finds a kill anywhere, they execute over at the A site and get crushed. And now there's 3 ops on the board for CLG. Tarek gets the opening kill onto Hades. And there's JDM pushed up towards Halls. He finds Desi, but 2 members have lurked up the area. All 3 are there now, and it's a battle. They do take out JDM, but there's Hayes with the op. All op kills for CLG until Cutler finally responds, and now they're just mopping everyone up. Nowhere to go for Ocean. And he's eventually just stranded in the open, gets found by the op of Hayes, and this is just a dominant first half from CLG.
So that 16-8 scoreline or 16-7 scoreline you were talking about doesn't even look like it's practical at this point. I mean, it's going to be a force-up Tech 9 and Galil's for the remainder of the squad here for Follow Esports. 15th round coming at you, and 5 ops for CLG. Oh, baby, here we go.
I like it. Just testing things out for Cluj. Just seeing if it works.
Yeah, you know, I mean, what was it? 2 seasons ago in the Invite Division, we saw a 4-on-5 with, I believe it was Area 51 when Summit was playing for them on Overpass, when they busted out like 2 auto snipers and 2 ops for a CT side round, and they actually won like 2 or 3 rounds with it. So, but with an A hit, this is kind of going to be a little bit difficult for them, but I say that, and there they go. Cutler's going to find one, bomb goes down, Tarek doubles them, so that just gets immediately shut down, and there it is, Hayes finishes it off, so yeah. 14-1, and it works out. So, can't really say much about that.
Good lord. They just got to the point where those ops were like shotguns inside that bomb site, but it's just sickening. They pick them all off. So, Follow Esports has an abysmal first half, unfortunately. CLG just really brought it, and it just they set the tone, just responding with that mid push early on in the half. And from there, without any economy to get Wabbit and AWP, Follow Esports really couldn't find any success early on in the rounds, and it was just the ops of CLG just raining death from all over the map.
Yeah, this would be a hell of a comeback, wouldn't it?
It would be, but I'm not going to even...
I'm not putting my money on it.
No.
A little bit rough here for Follow Esports. Now, they have pulled off some pretty wild wins so far in this season. I believe, actually, one of their big wins came on this very map against Cloud9 earlier in the season. Tarek, he's just going to run into this A bomb site. He might be able to find some. Oh, never mind. He finds a bullet to the head. That's what all he gets over there. Desi finds him, and now it's going to be a push onto the B bomb site, trying to provoke that rotation, and it's going to be Ocean to try to bait him in for his teammate Elsa down here, and they're going to combine for a couple kills. Elsa's still trying to stay alive over here and pick off one more, but he's not going to get the opportunity. But Desi's so fast on the rotation, finds one more, and there it is. Hades gets the last, so there's a glimmer of hope at least.
That's actually a terrace pistol strategy that CLG's run in the past at previous events. Just send Tarek up that A ramp to deathmatch, see what he can find, and then hit the B bomb site when he either gets a kill or dies. Fortunately, he dies, and they had a nice bait and switch setup. Follow Esports did over at the B bomb site. One member hiding in the corner with the flash, and one just jump spotting. So CLG gets sucked into that hit, and the kills go Elsa's way. Very nicely done from them, but still, long way to go. This is going to be a bit of a buy-up on the CLG side. 3 members with armor, upgraded pistols, a lot of utility as well. This is basically a full investment from everyone except for JDM, so that come that 4th round, he can have his own op.
You can actually see Ocean waiting for this hit to come in. He's got a Molotov primed and ready to rock and roll for this push. He sees the smoke come in. He's going to drop the molly. They're going to have to run through it, but the flashbangs hold him back just a little while longer. He's only able to get one so far. He's going to peek out. He's going to battle with Cutler, but he has to fall down. Actually, the flash coming out the window, and Cutler drops on him. They've got another one wrapping around from Cat's side, but Elsa's there. Going to be able to find 2. Wabbit as well chimes in with 1. And that bomb being down, Finesse the only man alive, and he's going to try to peek out and find something. And something is all he's going to get. Hades down, Wabbit trades. And now a 3rd round for Follow Esports. So, 3-man stand again. Doesn't look too bad, but pretty much a standard anti-eco round.
Yeah, that's the 2nd round in a row, though, that the 2 B players for Follow Esports have played basically that double balcony, with Elsa lurking underneath that van and one player playing on top. And that one Molotov they threw just slowed everything down. Despite all the utility, CLG didn't have a smoke to extinguish it, so they really got cut off from the initial attack and just slowed down. That brought so many rotations in. So that hit actually got doomed very, very quickly, very early on in its lifespan.
Now they got to be careful because just pushing straight up mid is going to be Finesse, but he finds nothing over there in that A bomb site. Elsa's going to be able to trade one as well as Wabbit. And there you go. Elsa's going to find one more and the 3rd, and that is going to be a clean sweep there for the Follow Esports side. But now we're coming into the 1st gun round, and like you said, with JDM full saving in the 2nd and 3rd round, he's going to have enough for that AWP. It's going to be Glass Cannon, but it's still JDM.
Yeah, and he's been sick with this. He's been sick with this op recently. He's really come into his own, had really, really good form. So, yeah, we saw the damage they were doing with their ops on the first half. So Wabbit actually, I mean, he does have his. What he couldn't get for most of that first half, couldn't be successful with it. And look at this. They're going to do their own form of mid-control. Wabbit's going to be watching with that AWP from the window room. 2 players pushing up, Hades and Desi, but CLG, they have Hayes and they have JDM both watching it from far back. So if these Follow Esports defenders push up any more, there's even going to be a pop flash. Wabbit gets that first kill. There's Desi, peeks at the right moment. So they've had some success off this, and now Wabbit's going to get a 2nd one. So CLG's being decimated down to just 2 players. Only Hades is brought low on the Follow Esports side.
Yeah, just shut down that mid-aggression there, countered it with their own, and that was a beautiful job from Follow Esports. And you can see Wabbit, he gets out of this completely unscathed. Hades, the only one to take any damage here on the CT side so far, and now turtled up way back in mid is going to be JDM trying to find anything that he can with that AWP, but it's not really going to happen. They're just going to sit tight here on the CT side and wait for the last 2 players to maybe try to have some sort of an execute, which looks like it's going to be falling back towards the A bomb site, but a very tall order here for Tarek and JDM. JDM's actually had a little bit of a slow start to this matchup. He's 10-13 down at the bottom there, as well as Tarek. He's not really putting up the numbers that we're used to seeing, but still a 14-1 half. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, there's only so many kills to go around, Mega Man. Can't blame the guys for just chilling and having a good time.
I don't know. It's Tarek. You know, I talked to Steele a little bit at Philadelphia, and you know, it's just he likes to, at least on social media, likes to harp on him just being like a quote unquote brain dead fragger, just runs in death matches almost every single round. And there you go. He's actually going to open up here on the Desi, but he's going to turn his back at the wrong time, and that should be a kill for Hades. And it is. JDM's just going to try to hang on to that op.
Yeah, they were probably trying to just get 2 or 3 kills and see if they can make something happen as the clock dwindled down there, but JDM's going to try and save this, but they're hunting him down. He's stuck in T-spawn. He is going to find that kill. Ocean pushed up mid. Nicely done from him. But that's going to be their only weapon into this round, and he doesn't get a bonus, so he can't even add armor to this AWP that he manages to save. So, nice start to this second half from Follow Esports. 4 in a row for them. But now they've got to be wary, because JDM is still dangerous, and with this op, if he's able to get 1 pick, that could open things just enough. You see everyone has Tech 9s or Deagles. Hayes, he had a big round at the Deagle earlier in the first half, so 1 kill from JDM could open things up here. But Desi is pushed up on top of the balcony, so that's going to be a little bit scary.
And this is a really odd angle for him to play. He's just going to be tucked right around the corner here, waiting for this push to come out, and JDM is honed in with that op. They did hear Wabbit ring an op shot out earlier in the round, so they know that there's going to be a player over there. There's the pop flash, and Desi just annihilates him. Now they're going to play past the op. With Desi spotting Cutler coming out from the A ramp, he should be able to take him down. No, never mind. Dink dead as Cutler takes him down, so it's even back up. And finally, Hades going to chime in with one. And Elsa's going to be there for the backup as well. So it's just down to Hazed and Tarek. And it's just going to be a really tall order for him to try to solidify this round. Maybe try to hang on to that op for the next round. But, oh, nope. That quick switch just ends Hazed.
Yeah, awkward position with that smoke deployed. It really just puts him in an uncomfortable spot. He did do some damage. He did tag Wabbit through a wall, but not able to finish things off. Tarek's going to fall back. He's getting pushed from T-spawn and from Palace, so he does spot the head out towards T-spawn, but he's probably not ready, prepared for Hades to be this close in Palace, so he's just got a time limit on how long he's going to be able to survive this one. And Hades is just patiently waiting, doesn't even continue the push.
And just patiently waiting. They're going to flush him out, and there it is. That should be the kill in the back. Ooh,
he's gonna knife him.
Looking for a knife kill. Looking for the knife kill. Hades.
Oh, he's trying to run the timer out, I'm assuming, with 15 seconds left. He's trying to just see if Tarek's...
That's actually a really good idea.
Well, and Tarek at this point should realize that he needs to just rush into the site and try and die. But he's...
What if he knifes him after the round's over, too? Insult to injury. Oh, here it comes. Yeah, there it is.
That's a massive mistake from Tarek to not just go die. And smart play from Hades. I mean, he had him a free kill basically for 20 seconds.
That is fantastic stuff right there. Beautiful job from Hades, and you can see Tarek. He's going to be on a deagle for this gun round. So big mistake, like you said, from Tarek. At that point, just bomb into a bomb site and see if you can't just get killed with a couple seconds left, as opposed to trying to hang on to that op. It's risk versus reward, and he got absolutely nothing out of that.
Oh, nice shot from Wabbit. He's really coming alive so far in this second half. Good kill onto Hayes, and he comes back. It's a second one. It's Tarek. Nice readjustment his position. And a third one on a JDM. Yeah. A quick flick down. He just pulls the cursor, and now he's getting wrapped upon. So that might actually end his spree, and Cutler just ends it. Nice headshot into the window, but so much damage dealt by Wabbit.
And they actually know that Finesse is in this position as well, so they got to be very careful. He's actually going to drop out of window. That smoke is still going to be encompassing that area, but they're going to spot him here from Ticket Booth, and he actually gets dinked down to 17 HP, so this should be an easy cleanup here for Follow Esports. But again, it's like you said, which Wabbit are we going to see tonight? Were we going to see the one that that's, you know, we've seen in the past where he kind of struggles a little bit, or are we going to see the one that was dominant on maps like Cobblestone earlier in the season? He's been very, very good on Mirage so far in this season as well. He was one of the key contributors to their win over Cloud9 earlier in the season, so he's definitely coming on board, and you can see 19 and 16 on the scoreboard, even though that kill-to-death ratio isn't what it should be, but he's got 19 kills into the 21st round. That's big.
There's a little bit of an opportunity here for CLG. No one playing inside the B bomb site. Ocean just rotating back now, and he's going to get caught by Cutler. So this bomb could get planted, and it's a doable situation. It's a 2-on-3, but Elsa on Catwalk just ends things in terms of FNS. Throws a nice Molotov to force Cutler out of position, and he's going to put him into the middle of the bomb site. So that's when Desi comes into play, just coming out of market himself. So nicely done from Follow Esports. That's their 7th round. CLG still getting blanked on this terrorist half.
And how big do you think that plan actually is in the grand scheme of things here?
The bomb plant?
Yeah. The extra money that they're going to get from that.
Very big. They're going to buy this round. They'll have a solid buy with a full losing bonus and the $800 from the plant. Cutler may even be able to drop an AWP over if he chooses to. He's got 6,200, so I imagine he's going to drop it off to JDM.
Yep. So that's a little bit of a mistake there from Follow Esports as well, because, you know, obviously if they don't get the plant there, they probably, if they do get the buy, they're not going to have the AWP. So pretty solid job there, and actually ESEA is going to pick up the auto sniper, so it is going to be a double scope setup here on the CT side for right now at least.
Heavy play towards the B bomb site. Desi's an underpass, though. He gets blinded, and actually he's going to get peeked. He's not dead yet. He's just spraying, trying to connect one with FNS. Can't get lucky in that situation, but Wabbit pushed up in upper B tunnels. He misses a shot. FNS doesn't fall. He's holding a crack pretty aggressively, but all 5 members for CLG, they don't have any map control, and Wabbit's going to grab that one onto Tarek. He's looking for a second. He's going to get it on the Cutler, so he's holding this B halls very, very strong. Starting to push up on him, and there's JDM. Finally grabs the angle, and the rotations haven't come in yet. Wabbit buys a lot of time, but no one's here to support him.
And Hades actually flubbing that flash is not going to allow him to get any kind of clairvoyance onto this B bomb site. They are going to get the plant in. It's a 3-on-3. ESEA coming around the corner. He's going to be looking for something with that auto sniper. Nobody's over by bench just yet, but Finesse is trying to filter his way over there. There it is. There's one, and there's two. ESEA doing a good job. Ocean cleans up JDM on the big flank, so it's going to be an 8th round now for Follow Esports, but with another bomb plant and that money bonus, they should have another buy coming out from the terrorist side of CLG, but they just can't get anything going here on their CT side. It's like a complete mirror image of what happened in the first half.
Yeah, now the biggest problem, too, for CLG is they have the full bonus, and they're getting some of these plants, so they can buy up the AK-47s. JDM, very well known that, you know, he's not as effective with an AK-47 as he is with an AWP, and they're going to struggle to find those openings, especially against an auto sniper. Without an AWP to really counter that, ESEA can just go ham with this throughout the rest of this half. So, actually, still there's a large gap on the scoreboard, but this is a pretty scary spot for CLG. The money is so huge that for Follow Esports that even if they lose a round, they're going to have plenty of money to buy up an auto sniper again, plenty of money to buy up as many AWPs as they want, and plenty of money for all the utilities. So, they're putting together a very, very strong defense so far.
And actually a little bit of a whiff there from Wabbit, who had an opportunity to actually, I believe that's Tarek up there in the halls. They're going to be going for this A hit. You can see the smokes come out. Tarek's going to be trying to find something, but Desi underneath the balcony is going to be able to take him down. That's going to be the first frag on the board. Desi does get traded. JDM with the AK finds one. ESEA goes down. They're trying to get the plant in the smoke. They're spamming. JDM gets it done. And we're going to be on a 3v3 retake once again here. If Follow Esports can clutch this one out, that bomb plant again is going to allow them to buy for CLG, but it's still not going to yield them an AWP. And you can see these team flashes actually a little bit problematic as Wabbit trying to get in here. Ocean's going to be able to find just one and done, but Hades comes in with a frag of his own, and now Cutler's going to come under fire. And again, Follow Esports clutch it out in a 3v3. They keep 2 players alive. One of them's got the AWP, and I think Hades is going over to try to get that auto sniper, and he does.
Yeah, very nice retake. All 3 members of CLG over towards connector, jungle, and the stairs. And eventually they just get mowed down. No crossfires able to get set up, and they had to put bodies over that way to come through the smoke to take that auto sniper out of the hands of ESEA. So that's why they committed so many people there. That's why they had so many players there in the post plant. So now 9-14, Follow Esports keeping it alive just a little bit longer.
But see, this is what's so scary about this economy game here in Counterstrike is just this infinite cycle of buy now as the terrorists have that money bonus. But it's going to be ESEA to try to find 1-2 in mid, and he's going to be able to trade out JDM's hard-fought frag there at the beginning of the round, so the man advantage quickly swinging back to the CT side.
This is when you get really scared when you're CLG. As a player in this kind of a situation, you're just like, oh no, we're not actually collapsing. And there's Tarek, star player stepping it up, finds Hades. That's going to split the defense a little bit. If they can find Wabbit, I mean, who's pushing up off Catwalk, that would be huge. There's one player towards connector. He's all alone, and he's got the bomb, so that's kind of a tough spot. That's Cutler. He's got to be very cautious, and you can see he's just straight up falling back because no one from CLG is grouped up at the moment, but with a minute left, they're finally going to reconvene. It looks like they want to go over towards the B bomb site because Finesse has found a very aggressive positioning in these B halls.
Yeah, and this is the right call right now because the only player that's watching this is Wabbit with the AWP on Catwalk, and it's kind of a shame that they don't have a player. Well, they do have Tarek geared up to maybe try to make a presence known on Catwalk here in a moment's notice as they try to execute in, but Wabbit, he's going to be watching for it. The flashbangs come out. He's completely blinded. Still looking for it. He's going to get the shot on Finesse. He's looking for Cutler as well. That's the bomb if he can get it down, but now that rotation is coming over towards the B bomb site, and this should get shut down by Follow Esports, but they've got to be extra careful because Tarek lurking on Catwalk is going to be able to catch Wabbit, and that's going to open things up for him on the T side, and there it is.
Nice patient play, and you know Tarek was just telling Cutler to wait, that he's going to get that kill. So Cutler being very, very patient, waiting for his teammate to make the play. Another Molotov comes in where the bomb's being planted. That allows Ocean to try and jump out the window, but Tarek spots him, and there's Cutler onto Elsa. So they get their first round of the second half finally, and now they can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief because they've got overtime no matter what happens. And that was crucial.
Yeah, but again, with this big money bank that they have on the CT side, they're going to go right back into a double scope setup. It's going to be dual ops. Hades is going to have one this time around, as well as Wabbit again. And you can see Elsa and Wabbit really putting them on their back because Ocean with only 10 frags, as well as Hades, so they're not really pulling their weight at the bottom of that scoreboard, as Desi is 14 and 20, but Wabbit and Elsa are having themselves a hell of a matchup so far. And it looks like it's just going to be a fast strat onto the A bomb site. They're trying to close this down. Hades is going to get caught. They spot the barrel. There's 3 players on the CT Force over here by the connector side. All of them just grouped up, and that one smoke is going to hold all 3 of them back. Flashbangs over the top. And I'm surprised I don't see Hayes pushing through. Wabbit finds the crack in the smoke, does take him down, so it is going to be at least a man advantage here so far. But there's the spray down. Desi finds Finesse. They've got one over here by Firebox, and that's going to be Tarek going down, so the retake is already very successful. They've got one by Tetris, and they've got one by A Ramp, and there it is. Els comes in with one, and Desi decimates Cutler, so the retake is just flawless.
Yeah, Follow Esports is very, very fortunate CLG didn't have a split going on with 3 members just confined by those stairs. And 2 of them just running into each other on the steps, but they manage it nicely. And once again, it's still Wabbit being the impact player early on in these rounds, finds the crack in that smoke, gets a couple of kills through it, and then, yeah, it just makes that retake so much easier. So CLG, they get the plant, but their money's been reset. The losing bonus restarts, so they don't have the money. They're going to have to buy just Tech 9, some upgraded pistols. But Follow Esports, it's exactly what they needed, so they can creep a little bit closer to forcing overtime.
Should be 15 to 11, barring any craziness out of this round. Hayes, the only one that's going to pick up armor. Finesse going very aggressively in underpass. And Elsa in window room. He's going to get traded out immediately. JDM aggressive on Cat, and now Finesse. But they've got to worry about Tarek coming out from the halls, and they've got to worry about Cutler. But Hades does a great job controlling the spray, and that's the bomb down with only Finesse alive. Wabbit pushing on Catwalk. He should be able to find Finesse, and he takes him down with the 5-7. So an 11th round now for Follow Esports. Bear in mind, guys, it was 14 to 1 at halftime.
Yeah, this is kind of a problem with this is one of the weaknesses of CLG. Sometimes they just struggle to close. I mean, this game should have been over far earlier for this to be happening. This is just really, really brutal. And now Elsa's got, you know, he's still back in that auto sniper, that AWP that CLG struggled so much to handle. And the big thing as well is they don't have Molotovs to force him out of position. They only have these smokes and these flashbangs. So if they can't get that kill quickly, he can go to town with that auto.
And again, we talked about this in the first half about how many players are alive at the end of the round to promote that money situation going on. And almost every single round that Follow Esports has won so far this half has had 3 or more players alive, with the exception of maybe 1 round the entire half, and the 1 round that they lost. So they're still in that good money. So even if they lose a couple of members, as long as they keep winning rounds, they're going to be perfectly fine, and JDM's going to get boosted. But Desi hits a ripper, takes him down out through the window room, and that is a great find for Follow Esports because he was on 28 HP.
That was a sick shot from Desi. Catches him as he's jumping, and now that just forces no more aggression into that window. They're all up connector. Desi's got a Molotov and a smoke to block off that choke point, so he's just going to smoke it off, and CLG's committed to A. 2 members in connector. They're going to have to come to the smoke. Desi gets completely blind. Good find from Hayes. He opens things up. 2 members in the bomb site. Wabbit's actually pushing a Palace, and he's going to find a kill towards jungle. There's Hayes as well, and Wabbit 1 more kill. So they're holding on very, very strong. Now Wabbit just has to hold out for the reinforcements, and there it is. The auto sniper just comes in to clean things up.
And again, just like a mirror image of the previous rounds, 3 players left alive for the CT side, so the buys are going to continually just keep pouring in. And without a bomb plan in that round, again, that economy game playing in the favor of Follow Esports, that's not going to be a buy. It's going to be another save here for Counterlogic Gaming as Follow Esports just keeps edging closer and closer. They should be able to get their 13th round out of this one, and this is just so close right now.
Yeah, this is stunning. This is going to be crushing if CLG can't pull this one out. And now they're going to head over. They have 3 members coming into underpass. Window's going to get smoked off, so they're going to be able to head up towards the A bomb site.
That's Wabbit's
just going to launch
Wabbit.
a Molotov, yep, to delay it. He sees exactly what that's for, and he Molotovs it, but 2 members are going to be able to get up in a connector, and Desi and Hades are playing so passive behind the phone booth, so they don't have the intel. Finally, Desi swings out. Wabbit also gets 1 more just to add to his tower. That's the bomb down, so this hit is just crumbled all up to JDM very quickly. No damage even landed by CLG. So good round from Follow Esports. That's going to get him up to 13.
Yeah, their defense has just been absolutely fantastic. There's the auto sniper from ESEA. Again, finds JDM. He's the only one to take any damage on the CT side, as Moses said. 54 health, he survives, and no rebuys necessary here for the CT side, with the exception of 1 smoke and 2 incendiary grenades. So you can see it's just, or actually 2 smokes and incendiary. So only a $1,200 investment. You can just see them banking up money. Wabbit's almost money capped right now. He will be after this round if they win. And that's just absolutely nuts that they've got that much economy here on the CT side. Now, obviously, they can't slip up whatsoever, but they're going to be fine to rebuy on these wins no matter what happens here.
JDM's going to take his op over towards the B bomb site. Try and get a pick on someone jumping. He's going to get mollied back initially. He's got no armor as well. But all 5 members for CLG, they don't take any map control whatsoever. Wabbit's pushed up all the way to the top of mid with this AWP, so now he knows exactly that no one's here. He could assume it's over towards the A bomb site. The hit will come to the A bomb site, but I mean, they must know that it's going to be all B or all A, and there's Elsa with that auto sniper. He gets that first kill. Ocean pops, flashes himself out, but his teammate falls to JDM, so now he's got to be a little bit more careful.
And they're actually going to molly him out from Van side. They're trying to get through the window. Finesse on the other side of that smoke, but it's Wabbit again with a back-to-back kill. Make that a triple for him on the round, and he just shuts it down single-handedly. Hades is there for the final frag on a Tarek, but it's going to be 14-15. And we are looking very close to OT right now. This is a nuts match, and it's a very forced buy for the terrorist side of CounterLogic Gaming. They're just struggling to close this one down. It's been, what is it, 13-1 now in the second half.
Yeah, this is absolutely sick, but one more chance for CLG, and if this occurs, it would be the unlikeliest of buys, as it's 5 Galils on the CLG side. So very weak arsenal to go up against everything. They do have all the smokes they'd need, but they've been shut out completely with better buys than this. So that's a scary situation.
This is a fake strat right here. You can see 3 players grouped up in the B bomb site, or in the B halls right now. And Desi, he's behind this smoke, but it's just going to be a fake. It's all going to be a ruse. They're going to bomb some flashes and some nades into this B bomb site, try to pull that rotation, and look at them go. 3 players rotating off, 2 of them going already through underpass. It's going to be 4 players for Desi to handle at this A bomb site. Wabbit does manage to find Cutler, but that's the only player that's over there, and Hayes turns around and finds him on catwalk, and now Desi is just going to get completely overwhelmed. Hayes coming into the site as he can't get him, but he chips him down very low. Terra comes for the pre-fire, and he falls, though. It's going to just be a brawl in this bomb site. Elsa goes down after taking JDM out, and it's going to be all down to a 2 versus 2. HP values relatively close to the same. Now it's just all up to Ocean. Big Daddy O-Dig. Can he make it happen? Hazed over here by CT Spawn. He mollies out FNS, but FNS hits the headshot. 16-14 is going to be your final score, and they save it. Somehow CLG end up winning that on that most unlikeliest of buys.
That is, I mean, here's the thing.
They couldn't get it done with full economy, so they go for Galils, and they end up winning the round.
Yeah, and that's a good call by CLG. They run a fake there in that round, and in that kind of a situation with the comeback that Follow Esports had, they bite on the fake. They just feel the pressure. And they bite on the fake a little bit too much, pulls Wabbit out of position, and really it's Hayes that goes God mode. He gets him 4 kills on that round, so he gets the first 4 kills for CLG in that final round to put him in a position to win that in a 2-on-1. So very good stuff from him. A much closer match from CLG. Their CT side looked great, and their Terror side just got away from him in terms of the economy just a little bit. Wabbit had himself another hell of a game to really keep his team in. Elsa with that auto, just rain and death. So CLG, they get away with one a little bit.
Yeah, and let's not forget the fact that Desi from underneath the balcony actually knocked Hayes down to 22 HP, so all 4 of those frags that he got in that final round, he was in the red. So that's actually pretty big in that round, too. Just big balls on Hayes going ham in that final round with very, very low HP, so he's able to get it done and really saves his team from potentially, I mean, the momentum was so in favor of Follow Esports in that second half. If it would have gone to overtime, it would have been a very interesting OT for sure.
Yeah, but on that note, to start us off nicely, thanks to those 2 teams, we're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to come back with Cloud9 versus WinterFox. And that will be just after a short break, so we'll see you guys soon.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back for our final matchup of the evening. It's going to be Cloud9 versus WinterFox on Cash. They've already gone through the knife round. Cloud9 did come out on top, so they're going to be starting on the CT side. Now, Cash, pretty strong map here for Cloud9, and again, with WinterFox playing with Devil Walk and XP3 over in Europe still, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for them. They do have Flowsick standing in for them for the time being until Pitt can get back to the state side as well, for them to have all 5 of them on the American soil for the sake of the argument, or the North American soil for that matter, since I think they're living in Canada. And yeah, so here we go. Obviously, Cloud9 don't need really any introduction. Freakazoid, Sean Garris, Shroud, Nothing, and Skadoodle facing off against Lex, Anger, XP3, Doublewalk, and Flowsick. And we are live, guys.
Yeah, Skadoodle's got to spot this mid-aggression. He does. Just as the smoke clears, he peeks out. He sees him rotating back towards the B bomb site. Nothing's going to get that first kill. That was over towards the B bomb site. Now they know exactly where this is coming. The bomb's about to enter. Nothing is holding strong. A second kill. A nice headshot. Gets a third one as well, just being a beast inside this site. Trying to get a fourth right now, but this attack has largely been neutralized. Flowsick coming out of upper, and he finds two. Very good work from him, but Nothing is still alive, and he's going to get a fourth. He's on the verge of an ace right now, and it is in the open, and Nothing's going to grab it. All headshots for Nothing.
Wow. Highlight reel clip right there from Nothing. Big old ace from him coming out in the pistol round, and what are you going to do? I mean, that's just a massive, massive round from him, just already off and rolling. What a friggin' round from him. And they're going to buy up around that, obviously, on the Cloud9 side. He's already going for the M4, fully bought out. Full arsenal as well. I mean, he's got a nade kit, head armor, M4 in hand. 3 SMGs on the board as well for the remainder of his team that are going, hey, we didn't get any money out of that last round because you took all the kills.
That was nuts. But now Freak gets blind. He's the one closest to this hit. He's got an MP7 over by the forklift, and he's going to spray one down. That's the bomb, so good bonus for him. And now Anger swings out wide with that Tech 9. Gets one, but they can't clean out Shroud. And actually, 2 kills immediately go the way of Winterfox, and now it's a 3-on-2.
Yeah, very scary start to this round, but that nade's going to rain in. That actually does some severe damage to Flowsick. Brings him down to 15 HP, 30 HP for Anger, and 7 for Devilwalk. But Anger's not done just yet. He just taps away Nothing like it's nothing, and he's going to be looking for the last one over here. He does lose his life, but it's going to be a crossfire for the remainder of this one, as Sean Garris, he was looking for that M4, couldn't spot it just yet. He's got one over by Quad Box. That's going to be Flowsick biding his time, and also Devilwalk very far back, looking for that push into the bomb site, but right now it looks like Sean Garris might just grab the M4 and run away if he could find it, but he can't find it anywhere. There it is, finally, and this is going to be a Winterfox win.
It's really interesting. If Shot had just gone for that, obviously he doesn't know the situation, but I think Devilwalk had some bad intel on where that plant was from, because he was all the way back in A main, very, very deep towards T-spawn, and the bomb was planted default inside the site. So Shot with a kit could have just stuck that if he had chosen to. So surprised to see Sean give it up, and he does salvage the M4, and they're going to buy into this route, so he's going to drop that over towards Nothing. Shroud and Freak have already bought upgraded pistols and armor. Actually, Shroud picks up the Scout, so Cloud9 not giving it up just yet.
Yeah, they're going to go right back into this one with the firepower and try to trade this round out. Winterfox will be very, very broke if that is the case, as they are going to be on 2 Galils and 3 AKs this round. 4 Molotovs for him, though, so obviously a set strategy is going to come out, try to flush some players out using those mollies. You see one already being used to the backside boxes in the checkered hallway. Freakazoid, though, he gets spammed up down to 6 HP, but he does find the kill on Lex in middle, so that's a nice find from them on the Cloud9 side.
Well, that's a kill Lex definitely 100% should have had. Doesn't get it. That's going to be frustrating. Sean's going to pop flash peek into B main. The smoke's still there, so he doesn't see anything. Can't grab intel, but he does fall back, save his life. He's got 3 members inside the bomb site behind him, and actually this is a huge stack. Skadoodle's so far pushed up that they don't have to worry about even watching A at the moment.
And they're going to be coming right back into Skadoodle right now as XP3 leading the charge with the bomb on his back. And there's the peek from Skadoodle. He does get the dink on XP3, but he doesn't get the kill. And now we're seeing whether or not that rotation is going to come out. And Freakazoid's still over here. He's going to get naded down, finally off the map. And now the man advantage swings back towards Winterfox. See that big rotation going towards that A bomb site, but that is the wrong call. Shroud's going to have to come up absolutely massive with this scout at B. But he's going to be able to find one. That's going to be Anger down and out. Devilwalk right around the corner, jumping right over top, sprays him down, and that's going to be the B bomb site open for business. And at this point, Cloud9 looking for the retake. 2 players very low for Winterfox. Devilwalk at 100 HP still, but the vents being mollied out. It's going to hold him back for just a few seconds longer.
Yeah, Sean with the kit's going to lead the way out. He does spot one over in the corner. He's able to spray him down. That's Flowsick. He falls. Devilwalk has the most HP, and he's inside the bomb site, peering out. So is XP3, just doubled up. And trying to find these kills, but Nothing's going to get that one, and he grabs the second one. Nothing came to play tonight, and Sean with that kit is going to defuse it. He's going to utilize it this round, so trading these rounds after the pistol goes the way of Cloud9. Winterfox grabs the second one, Cloud9 grabs the third one, but with that plant, you might see Winterfox force it up again.
2250 being the low man on the totem pole at Lex and Flowsick, but it looks like they might just go for a save here, play it a little bit smarter. They're going to pick up nade smoke flash on the back of Lex, as well as an upgraded pistol, but the rest of them yet to decide what they want to do. There it is, P250s across the board, only body armor on Flowsick, but the rest of them are going to be pretty much naked for this one. It looks like they're going to be going towards the A bomb site to start things off as well, so big fast push coming in towards A. There's 3 CTs over here already spotting it out. Flowsick's going to get taking down Meg 7 in hand, and Shroud's just going to spray him down. There it is. 2 big frags for him, looking for more. Switches over to the pistol, trying to pop shots. He's going to be able to find one more. Can he get double walk and execute the 4K? But no, it's going to be Skadoodle to push up here with the Meg 7, trying to find that intel. 5 HP left for double walk. Actually finds Shroud, though.
Yeah, nice shot on the Shroud. He's just going to stay alive a little bit longer, but no real opportunity to win this round. Skadoodle with that Mag 7 was trying to be aggressive. It's like he wanted the bonus money so he could afford an AWP as soon as possible, but Shroud just stole basically everything, and there's Devil Walk getting cleaned out by Skadoodle at the end with the AK-47, so no force up from WinterFox that time. Moving into the next round, this could be a force buy. They've got 3 members sitting about 4K or above, and a couple members sitting around 3K, so they are going to buy out. XP3 has the AK. They all swing it. And Skadoodle's going to have that AWP.
Yeah, Shroud actually buying that for him and tossing it over. He didn't really have enough money for himself to actually buy that, but Shroud's now got the AK. He doesn't have a whole lot of nades to work with, but with this force up, it shouldn't be too terribly big of a deal, but you can see WinterFox spreading the forces out. They are going to go for maybe a little bit of a boost play here in middle. After that Molotov clears, you can see Lex getting ready to put XP3 up on top. Nothing playing over here by Sandbags, just jump peeking for the time being. Seeing if he can spot out any kind of a boost up on top there. It's going to be XP3. Here comes the resmoke to mid, but XP3 peeks at the right time, finds just 4 HP damage onto him, but he's going to go for the repeak, and he actually does take down Nothing. Nice pre-fire over towards Sandbags, and he gets caught out in front of him.
Yeah, Skadoodle's going to have a big job to do with this op, and he just gets dropped by Lex. What a shot with the Galil. Eliminates him from the map very, very quickly. Freak's the last one left over here. Actually, he's got Shroud with him, but they're both smoked out. They haven't committed anything quite yet. And they've got to get some kills earlier. This is going to be a save call, and I think Anger's kill on a Freak might have just shut that down, and Shroud's getting flanked out from mid. So this is a good round from WinterFox. Nice success that they found. Just Sean left the truck. He does get Anger, but he's got to know he's being surrounded from the B bomb site at this point.
Yeah, XP3, I don't know if he actually heard the footstep or not, but XP3 pushed outside of B, and I don't think Sean is actually privy to this right now. He's going to be looking for it, just playing underneath where the heaven boost is, but let's see. Here comes XP3 clearing the corner, and XP3 wins that big 3K on the round for the Frenchman. Coming all the way around from boost box, and that's going to just be a clean sweep there for the WinterFox side. So a nice round from them, and that's going to force the save here for Cloud9.
Should say last night watching WinterFox play, they had they won a match and they lost a match, but they played really well considering the situation they're in, and it was all Anger returning to form of a couple seasons ago when he was the best player in the professional division. He just went nuts. I think it was, I want to say it was the season before we actually turned into Pro League, but
yeah, the last invite season.
He was an absolute beast, and he was the one showing up last night, and he's got to do it again tonight if they want a shot. And look at this, Lex and Flosic both get the opening kills. A little bit of an investment into this round from Cloud9, but so far so good for WinterFox.
Yeah, they actually have an AWP on Cloud9 as well as an M4 right now, and I think Skadoodle actually had that over by Sandbags, and just the nades over the top caught him out. Anger does significant damage to Freakazoid, but he does get dropped there in the A bomb site, but that's not where the bomb is because it has yet to be retrieved, and it's going to be a pushover towards the B bomb site, and this is the right call from the WinterFox squad. There's nobody home, and at this point, you know, Shroud's actually just AFK and spawn, so there's that.
I wonder what that's all about. But maybe
a lag out or something like that. Well, we actually do see who is it that dropped? Skadoodle dropped out of the server for the time being. Maybe Shroud's having a little bit of a connectivity issue as well.
Interesting, very interesting. But I was thinking maybe he just had to go to the bathroom and it was an eco round, so he didn't care. But Sean's gonna get that one. Devil Walk covers it nicely, gets the return frag, and Freak with an AFK teammate, he's just going to try and save his weapon. That AWP, the one that he has, he's only got 15 HP, and he's pushed through the door to try and find a good spot to just salvage the gun from. But I imagine we'd see a pause out of Cloud9 as Shroud just now finally drops as well.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance here for the Cloud9 side as 2 players drop out of the server here, only 6 rounds in, but it's going to be tied up 3-3. WinterFox with some nice executions here so far in this half. And they've capitalized, and they're keeping that money down on Cloud9's side, so they will be on a full save this next round. They do have the AWP on Freakazoid. Surely that'll get tossed to Skadoodle once he gets back into the server, but 2 players dropping, no pause yet. There it is.
Yeah, so obviously we'll try and figure out exactly what's going on for you guys and get that information passed along as soon as we know. But this is a pretty good half from WinterFox so far. So they're putting up much more of a fight than I think many people probably expected, and they're doing it with some mid control. You know, not shying away from those battles, whether it's nothing or Freakazoid over towards the sandbags, but they're taking mid control and kind of forcing this Cloud9 defense to rotate very much between the bomb sites and get out of position. So far early on, it's 3-3, but good stuff from WinterFox.
Yeah, and to kind of chime in with a little bit on that as well, big kudos to Lex, at least in the round before this, when it was actually a full gun round, getting that pick onto Skadoodle. He's only 2-4 right now, but a couple of the shots that he's hit have just been complete rippers, so good job from him. And then again, Anger on that eco round in the second round, able to find a lot of those Tech 9 kills. So you said that he's kind of returned to form a little bit in the past couple of matches that they've played, and that's one of the biggest things that WinterFox needs. Adding Flowstick in here, having another North America, or at least another player that's on North American soil, where you're not playing with 3 players with 150 ping, definitely helps out a lot. But when Anger, you said it earlier in the season, Anger and Lex need to really step up right now with the situation that they're in order, if they want to be able to put any wins on the board, because the biggest part about this is with those players over there and them not being able to capitalize on wins early in the season, it's just going to do nothing but hurt them as the season carries on.
Yeah, well, I think partially too. Last night there was a match. It was Anger and Lex who really stepped it up. Lex had a game where he got like 30 some kills, and it was in regulation. It wasn't like extended overtime, so it was probably his best match of the season that we've seen out of him. So both those players are kind of the ones who've been dealing with the three teammates over in Europe. So I think they just got to the point where they're just like, all right, screw it, like just angry, frustrated, and just went nuts. So that was good stuff. We'll have to see more of it, and they're going to have to keep that up throughout this match. They got a good start going on here, because especially Cloud9 economically, there's been a lot of buys from both of these teams when they're losing early on in this half. So neither team has really established a strong economy. WinterFox off the back of that round has pretty good money built up, but there's a good chance that they can really punish C9 for a lot of these early buys.
Yeah, and again, obviously just waiting for Skadoodle and Shroud to join back into the server. We should be getting this one underway very shortly. We haven't really gotten any word as to what the problem is. You know, maybe Shroud's mom just tripped over the Ethernet cable or something and yanked it out of the back of his computer. There he is, at least, back in there. And just waiting for Scott to get back in. So, should be going live here in just a few minutes for you guys, so hang tight. And maybe DJ Prius can go ahead and throw on some tunes for you for the time being and maybe entertain for a moment. Alrighty, guys, we are back. Looks like we've got all 10 in the server right now. We are going live back into this one. A little bit of connectivity issue there, no big deal. AWP saved, and it's actually still in the back of Freakazoid, who does have the body armor, so it looks like he's going to be just playing for a fast peek over towards A main. He does have Shroud, or does have nothing right behind him, but he's going to get that shot, but the double nade comes in. Steve Kerr getting those touchdowns. Yeah, I know basketball and football references. There's another one. 3 nade kills right now this round. What the hell's going on? Just dropping bombs in there, and you can actually see, I made a mistake. Skadoodle's not in the server. It's going to be Stunna. And there you go. He's going to actually find Lex on the top of Red Box. Can't make it happen. Nothing with the off. He's going to get swarmed on, and Lex picks up the 3-piece that round, and it's 3 nades at the end of that one.
Yeah, which is a bummer because Freakazoid gets that opening pick, and that would have been perfect if the nade didn't come in and just ruin all of his support. Without those 2 kills, WinterFox more than likely would have slowed that down. So the defense could have at least stabilized and forced that attack into a slower pace. But nice nade kills from WinterFox. And once again, because of the economic situation from this first 7 rounds of this half, where neither team has really given up buying, it's going to be the first, basically the first full save we have here. So WinterFox, good chance here to get up towards 5 rounds early on.
And let's see, they're actually going to pop flash Stunna in towards the A main. He's going to go take a peek there. Nobody's home. And they actually boost Shroud up over the top. He might be able to find somebody here in mid. I don't know if they realize this, but there it is. Lex actually going to get caught here. And watching for that flank. He takes down Shroud as well. So Lex really picking up the pace here in the last couple of rounds. He's going to find a third, looking for a fourth, but he's not going to get it. Anger going to find that pick over and onto Stunner and Connector. As Stunna, he's on the board. Flow 6 is going to find Sean Garris, finishes it off. And that's going to be a 5-3 scoreline now. WinterFox.
Pretty interesting that with Skadoodle not being in, with Stunna coming in to replace him, who's going to be the... Sean's going to go back to it. And actually, we do see Stunna. He just leaves the server right now. I'm assuming that'd be because Skadoodle is going to be joining at any moment once again, especially at the beginning of a gun round. A little bit of a curious time to make that swap, but either way, double op setup. It is going to be a 4-on-5 for at least just this round.
And there he is, but nothing opening things up, and like you said, he came to play today. He's 8-5 on the scoreboard. That's going to be a good find for him. 8-5 for Lex on the opposing side, so Frank's coming out from both sides, but again, it is a 4v5 to start off. Sean Garris with the op at A, going to be able to take one down. Lex picks up the op himself. He's a pretty capable opper in his own right, and he's going to be able to spot out Sean Garris. Misses the shot. Sean completely blind, misses another one. General Whiffington the third coming out from Lex's side. Flashbang at A main, but there's 3 CTs here now.
Yeah, those are crucial shots for Lex to miss, because Sean was completely in the open and completely blind. And this round started off 4-on-5, we said, but these ops are doing work. 3 kills combined for nothing and Sean with the 2 AWPs. Nothing hasn't even moved outside the B bomb site. Lex finally does kill Sean eventually, but the 2 WinterFox members are completely split, so as long as nothing doesn't give up this B bomb site to get picked, they should be safe, but he's rotated out of it. He's looking the other direction, but he's still sticking around. So still a chance here for him to recover this, and the bomb is slowly creeping its way in. All the while, Lex is running back from the A bomb site to meet up, and there it is. Nothing spots XB3, wins that duel. It's going to be another op-on-op battle that he's got to contend with, as Lex is actually, never mind, he's just going to push out mid and go straight up towards highway and try and flank behind the B defenders.
Well, I think he just got spotted. Freakazoid coming around from the A bomb site, and he should get peeked out here, and there it is. Manages to find one and done. Shroud goes down, but again, those ops just wreaking havoc here. That double up setup, and they're going to go right back to it again. And we'll see if nothing keeps on the op or if he's going to throw it over to Sean Garris. Freakazoid should be dropping this over to Skadoodle, which he does. And Skadoodle comes back in the game with $10,000 as well. So that's big for the economy game. He's going to be able to drop a rifle over for one of his teammates in Sean Garris.
Yeah, that's very nice. So still double op setup. Nothing taking his over towards the B bomb site. Skadoodle taking his over towards A. Skadoodle's going to be all over this bomb site, at least initially, as Freakazoid and Shroud man up to try and double team any kind of mid aggression that comes out early on, but WinterFox hasn't committed anywhere whatsoever.
Now, Chad, I said Lex is a capable opper. I didn't say he was a god opper. A couple of whiffs coming out from him, but it's already got a couple kills in the end. Nevertheless, Cloud9 ended up walking away with that. Big impact frags there from nothing, and Sean Garris with the AWP, obviously waiting for Skadoodle to get back into the server. But double up setup, how do you like it on a map like Cache?
Oh, it's great. It's perfect. It allows for a very centralized defense that can rotate very quickly between bomb sites, and now you look even behind it, nothing's pushed up behind the smoke. Sean's behind the box. This is solid, but Flowsick, he's not going to get fooled by anything. Now nothing with this off. He's in a really tough spot. With that pistol, he gets one before getting traded out by Devilwalk, but Shroud's here to back him up. Trades off Devilwalk. Molotov gets tossed out. He's going to pop flash himself, and Skadoodle's there to save the day. 2 kills for him as Shroud falls to XP3. This is a good defense from Cloud9.
Yeah, it's going to be XP3 with the AWP. 25 HP. A lot of P's going out right there. Now you see him working his way back towards B main. They do have one player crouched around the corner. That's Skadoodle. He's down to 46, but he's got the pistol out ready to rock and roll if need be. But XP3 is going to grab the bomb and rotate on out. And they're not really spotting for that bomb to get picked up. So that's kind of a curious thing. XP3 is probably going to be able to beat him into this A bomb site. And with an AWP in hand, 1 shot, 1 kill, he might actually be able to clutch this one out. So he's going to get a lot of time to get into a good post-plant position, which looks like he's going to be planning for A main.
Yeah, and if he can get back towards A main, grab an angle over towards the truck and find that first kill, with that bomb planted in the open, he's going to be at a huge advantage. So this is actually a little bit scary for Cloud9 in this 2-on-1. You can see they're taking it very slow now that they're up at the truck, but there goes Skadoodle. That's the pick I'm talking about. Now XP3, great opportunity for him to win. Sean's going to have to flash his way in, but that flash actually hits the balcony. Blinds Freak. And he's going to try and get on this bomb, but he's in the open.
Yeah, and XP3 just going for the shoulder peek. Knows that he's not on the bomb, knows that he tapped it, pulls out the AWP, and he clutches it. 2v1, 25 HP, 3K on the round, and WinterFox pick up another round.
Yeah, this is turning into a very, very good half for them. 6-4, Cloud9. Money is still awful, so they're not going to be able to buy anything. And WinterFox with a good T-side. Yeah, that was a big 1-on-2 win for XP3. Just books it to the other bomb site. No one from Cloud9 even realizes it. Just maybe gambling that he's going to come back towards the B site. So, nice win from him.
And like you said, that resets the economy again on Cloud9's side. They're down 4-6 right now, and WinterFox, again, that ping disadvantage not showing right now. They're going for an A stack here for Cloud9 that might actually pay off. There's 3 players from WinterFox in A main. And we'll see. Freakazoid doesn't have a flash, so he's not going to be able to flash those guys into A main. So they're just going to be trying to rely on the pistol power of these P2000s and P250s. So really kind of a difficult setup. There's a flash around the corner. Doesn't really blind Skadoodle, and they don't really push behind it either. So here comes a smoke towards truck side. The bomb is going to be rotating in towards A. And now Skadoodle is going to have his hands full in just a second. XP3 comes around, takes down 1. They've got the crossfire, but Lex annihilates all 3 of them. They've got 1 more in there. That's Freakazoid, and he goes down to Anger. And it's all on Sean Garris all of a sudden. He's going to be able to catch out 1, maybe get an AK in his hand, but he's just going to take fire. And Lex executes him. 4K on the round for him. He's 14-7 right now. Lex stepping up when he needs to.
I'm telling you, Lex these days, he's just had enough. So he's coming up huge. I mean, they didn't even really do anything to blow that stack up. There wasn't any HEs or Molotovs thrown behind that forklift. It was just all the power of him streaming out with the AK-47. The aim punch obviously ruins nothing. Who was boosted up, had a good angle on it, but couldn't find the kill. So now, another buy. Skadoodle's got a glass cannon AWP, and there's 3 Famuses on the board. 1 kit onto Shroud, but really light on utility. So Cloud9, another dire buy out of them, and they've got to try and stabilize this defense. And it's got to happen soon, and there's nothing. That's a good find. Opening up onto Devilwalk. First kill of the round gives him a good advantage.
Anger almost actually answered back through that smoke, almost lined up that spray onto nothing. That would have been a nice trade for him, but alas, it's going to be a man advantage here for Cloud9 to start off this round. And that happens within the first 20 seconds. So now a lot of time for C9 to kind of fall back, regroup, and solidify their defense in these bomb sites. You can see Skadoodle, the glass cannon, and he's going to be by himself over here in the checkered hallway. And no presence really on mid from the rest of his squad. You see Sean Garris just kind of jump peeking here from Catbox. He's going to spray through that smoke and actually takes down the Flowsick with 1 bullet down to 80. But again, not too terribly big of a deal, but this boost from Freakazoid could pay off in a huge way for Cloud9 as the smoke comes out towards Forklift. Lex is going to take the peek, and there it is. He's going to get annihilated. And Anger answers right back, though, so they might be able to push in here in that flashbang. I don't know what the hell that was. That goes over the fence. Flowsick from mid finds nothing. Anger answers in on the Sean Garris, and all of a sudden it's a 3v2.
Yeah, but nice shot from Shroud. Drops XP3, jumping up onto the forklift, and Skadoodle's going to try and find this player in mid, and he does. Grabs the shoulder of Flowsick just as he gets under cover, and Shroud's going to clean it up in the sight. So despite looking a little bit precarious there for a moment, Cloud9 recover from it. They're going to get their 5th round, so back on the board, but still a lot of money in the WinterFox side of things. They can rebuy very easily here.
Yeah, and even with that round win, the buy is going to be very limited here for Cloud9. You can see 4,500 for the top bank for their team, and throwing over some rifles as well. They do have 2 M4s and an AK, but maybe a FAMAS for nothing this round. No, they actually throw over an enforce, so they do have a full arsenal, but one round win for WinterFox is just going to completely obliterate that economy, and with as low as they are, they might end up having to go for a double save. So this is a very important round in this first half. If WinterFox win this, they could roll to 9, maybe 10 rounds in this first half.
Here it comes out of mid, so they're trying to take this control. They have one player smoked off inside the smoke, but there's Devilwalk. He opens up on a Sean who tries to peer around it, or maybe it was right through the smoke. I didn't get to see it from XP or Devilwalk's point of view, but Skadoodle over at the truck. He grabs one, but he gets caught in the open by Lex. Shroud trades it off, still down to a 3-on-3, but the bomb is going to get planted inside the site.
Yeah, the only Shroud over here by truck side to defend, but it's going to be nothing coming out through mid. Finds one. Where the hell did that thing just come from? I don't know if that was a little bit of team damage or if that was just through the wall on Shroud hitting that shot, but nothing falls. Lex again, 2 more kills this round. 2 HP survives, 8-5, and like I said, that economy is just in shambles right now for the CT side.
Lex is having himself one hell of a half at 16-8. Him and Anger combining to make some very crucial kills in the mid-round, so Cloud9 gets reset immediately. That was a weak buy to begin with, but it came immediately after a win, so now they're back down to no money, and they can't buy up any armor. They upgrade to some P250s, but no real utility. Nothing's got a flashbang for himself, but WinterFox, a good opportunity to get up towards 9 rounds.
Yeah, golden opportunity if they can capitalize on this, and with the limited upgraded pistols, they've got 3 P250s, but it's going to be a P2000 and a USP, but Skatoodle somehow manages to find that USPS kill, and they find another one as well, so the trade's even across the board. 3-on-3, Sean Garris, or pardon me, Shroud over there in CT Spawn's going to get caught. Sean Garris up in heaven. He's going to be able to pop some shots, but another nice shot from Lex takes him down, and now Shroud over in CT Spawn, he's going to get dropped by XP3. And it's all on Freakazoid on this big flank P2000, but Anger is watching it like a hawk. 9-5, your scoreline is Cloud9. They're in a little bit of trouble right here.
A lot of trouble right here. It's going to be another very weak buy coming out of their camp. WinterFox just hasn't alleviated the pressure throughout this entire half. I mean, outside of the first 4 rounds where Cloud9 won 3 of them, everything's just been one win for Cloud9 and reset immediately afterwards. So WinterFox doing a very, very good job keeping the economy in check. Skadoodle stuck onto a Mag 7. 3 Famouses once again. Skadoodle, he's on the Mag 7 and he's dealing with the kit as well. So any retakes, any plants that occur, the retake has got to come quickly, and to respond to this kind of a weak buy, you're just going to have some big aggression over towards the deep opposite, but nothing walks right into a headshot. Flowsick not even aiming for him, and nothing walks into the bullet and falls prey.
And on that note, they're just going to completely start speeding things up here towards this A-bomb site. Sean Garris up on the balcony. He actually takes down Devilwalk. Not a lot of time for him to react, but Lex is going to be able to find one Skadoodle with the Mag 7. Can't get it done. They're going to jump up on top, and that's Freakazoid down. Skadoodle down, and Lex again. 3K on the round. He's sitting at 20-8. He's just putting his team on his back right now, and XP3 to clean up Shroud. 10-5 is your halftime score, and WinterFox roll the T side.
Yeah, that was insane. What a half from Lex, and that last round he just comes over the top, jumps up on the boxes, and just cleans house. So Cloud9 not looking like the C9 that we know them to be, but they switch over to the T side, and maybe they can have a little bit more success here. They're going to have to. They're going to have to avoid that economic situation where they just can't buy anything really effective for basically an entire half. So WinterFox just kicks him in the mouth, and now we're going to have to see the response.
Yeah, and again, you know, we kind of talked about it briefly before the match started up. You know, this is a map that Cloud9 is kind of notoriously good on. So, you know, they play this a lot when they play in the big tournaments and everything like that, and they have a lot of success on a map like Cash. You know, we end up seeing them play like Virtus Pro on this map all the time, and it's usually always a close game. But this is just very uncharacteristic from Cloud9. Their CT side looks extremely weak on this one right now.
Yeah, which is, I mean, just...
And the leg outs don't hurt.
Well,
or don't help.
Just to build on that, it's also, you know, the week before a major, so that's pretty scary as well that they're not performing up. I mean, they got to be improving. They want to peak at the major, but right now they just seem to be a little bit out of sorts. So they're going to have a very, very good second half.
Yeah, and again, along those lines, let's not take anything away from WinterFox because they came out swinging. They came out hitting some great shots, and it all started in the very beginning of this matchup with Nothing getting a pistol round ace, all headshots, and then ever since then, the eco round came back. WinterFox won that on the back of Anger, getting a 3 or 4K with the Tech 9, and then it was all Lex all day from that point on, and you can see on the scoreboard he's sitting at 20 kills to start off this second half, 20-8, so he is having a hell of a match, and if anybody needed to step up on that squad, it's going to be Lex, Anger, and Flowsick, and actually Flowsick down at the bottom at 7-12.
Yeah, CT side can be a different animal, though, especially WinterFox. You know, on the T side, you can dictate where you want to bring the action, who you want to entry frag. This time around, Cloud9 can really kind of pick and choose where to exploit this defense, and right now they're making a good call. A lot of players headed over towards A, where it's only Lex playing. And look at this mid-aggression. Flowsick pushing up towards Red Box, and Cloud9 spots him out early on, but there's two members there now. Actually make it three. XP3 and Anger joining him, and they're in a gun battle here towards the mid-Red Box, and Flowsick's going to get that first kill before getting traded off. But they have control. Cloud9 can't quite shut this down because they're all spread out across the map. Now they're going to hit into this A bomb site. They spot one out in quad, and he's got a time limit on how long he can survive, and it's not very long. Lex falls.
Sean Garrett gets another nice headshot on XP3, and now coming out through mid is going to be nothing. Finds Anger. It's all down to Devilwalk, who is playing the B bomb site solo dolo, but it's going to be a four-man stand here for the terror side of Cloud9. As that bomb gets planted, not a lot that Devilwalk can do. He's got a kit and pretty much a full nade set to go along with it, so I expect to see him try to hang on to this for the next round, because that's a big investment to go into the next round with.
That mid-aggression was kind of cool by WinterFox early on, but it seemed like they didn't really have a plan of what to do afterwards. They didn't have as much success with it as they would have liked. They didn't have all the kills, and there was kind of a situation where they didn't have all the intel of where Cloud9 was. They really only saw two people, so they didn't know where the hit was going to come from. They didn't know where to rotate back to, so once they got into mid, despite having that kind of control, they just had nowhere to go after it. And Cloud9 makes the good decision, gets aggressive over towards A. They spot three out. They know there can only be one defender in the A bomb site, and they just overwhelm them.
And I don't really agree with that call there from Devilwalk going for that one at the end of that round. I think that he should have fallen back and hung onto those nades in that kit for the next round, because you can see no kits now on the CT side. They do have some deagles, some upgraded pistols, and some armor, but they would have had at least, pardon me, they would have had a kit, and they would have had a smoke flash and an HE to work with for the next round. So that's a pretty big investment to lose.
Anger just got hit in the face with a Molotov. 4 Molotovs right out into this A bomb site. Everyone gets forced out, but XP3, he just blows up nothing, gets the kill, traded off immediately. Those Molotovs force him out of position, but only one kill is found by Cloud9, so still taking this duel inside A main. They have the superior gunfire, but they haven't committed to anything. There's Shroud finally taking out Flowsick at Forklift. So a 4-on-3, and Cloud9 has all the control that they want.
Yeah, but Lex moving up into position in front of the forklift. He's just waiting for Shroud to make a mistake and peek out a little bit too far to take his head off with that Desert Eagle. But now they're going to start rotating back, and it looks like Cloud9 is just turtled up outside of that A bomb site, just waiting for that push to come in and wait for WinterFox to maybe think, hey, they're rotating back to B. But still holding strong right now, and there it is. There's the peak. Shroud just completely annihilates Lex, and Anger goes down to Freakazoid. So you can see it's just going to be Devilwalk again in this one versus Lots. And probably going to be a 7th round on the board here for Cloud9 unless Devilwalk can, well, he ain't even gonna, oh my god, what the hell was that? All right.
Well, now he's got to try and save it. Actually, he's going to pop flash himself, get re-aggressive, and he gets completely blinded himself. He still finds one, and his second one. The flashes get traded. They go in the favor of Devilwalk. He's got an AK, and now this just comes back to the fact that, like you said, if he had saved, he would have had a kit. He could have maybe gone for this, and he's going to do it anyway. He's going to try and smoke off the bomb. Shroud's got good positioning, though, and just drops him. But Devilwalk almost turns that into something magical.
That was nuts. But not to say that it wasn't magical, but it was at least expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. But those were cool. I mean, Cloud9 just mind-gamed the hell out of WinterFox there. They get those kills, they turn it into a 4-on-3, and then they just patiently wait. I mean, they have so much time on the clock, and they just patiently sit back, wait for WinterFox to have to respect a B play, start spreading away from the A bomb site, and just re-execute onto it. So, nicely done from C9.
Early Goosh coming out. It's actually going to be through the wall. Devilwalk's down to 57 HP. Not that big of a deal. He does have the Desert Eagle, but look at this aggression on A main. Flowsick going to push up. XP3 is going to push up, and they're both going to lose their lives. Sean Garris holding stalwart there. You can actually see Lex is going to be pushed up as well. Taking that battle to Sean Garris. Not doing a whole lot of damage. Finally gets shot up a little bit. Sean having a little bit of trouble connecting on those frags as well. Not too bad of a start here for Cloud9, and this is another one of those rounds where they have to be really smart. They have to hold and not lose members. But Freakazoid just gets nailed down to 9 HP from Lex.
Yeah, he gets beat up, but they let him get away. They don't pursue that kill whatsoever. So now they're just going to reassess over towards the B bomb site. It's just Devilwalk here, playing at the grill, playing at headshot with the deagle, and he has had a pretty stunning deagle these last few nights. There were some really sick shots last night, but he's not going to get a chance. Shroud, very meticulous, clears it out, swings wide, and it's looking like this should be a clean sweep unless Anger could come in and find something, and he's going to get a good dink onto Sean, I believe that is, but the aim punch, he can't recover from it, and he falls.
10-8 your scoreline. Coming into the first gun round now. It comes in the 4th round of the second half. Pretty standard stuff here, and it is going to be a... well, Lex has only got 3,400, so he's going to be small armor, smoke M4. Really kind of a limited buy there. XP3 is on the op. We saw him have a pretty magical round in the first half, a 1v2 clutch with only 25 HP. And let's see where he decides to go. He's going to be over at the B-bomb site to start this one off, and he's going to be playing solo over there as well, so... going for that heavy mid control on the CT side. Now, this is something that we see relatively often, and they're going to go ahead and boost up over the top. And there it is, Lex. He falls already, as well as Devil Walk from the vents. They do a little bit of damage there. Nothing's down to 14, and Freakazoid at about half health, but again, that's not going to be enough as the 2-0 trade goes in the way of the terrorist side for the time being.
Yeah, this is just Cloud9 saying, all right, we're on the terrorist side now. Our turn to do whatever the hell we want. They come out big. They get a couple kills. Freakazoid's not done. He grabs a third for Cloud9, and it's just Flowset caught in the open, can't do anything. An XP3 with no armor and an AWP against 4 can do absolutely nothing, so Cloud9 just steamroll through the defense in that first gun round.
Yeah, and that's a very, very solid solid round there. Taking over mid-control, just annihilating that stack that they had there from the CT side. I mean, they picked all 3 members off over there. And basically a free bomb plant, free bomb site at A, and 9th round on the board now for Cloud9. So they're kind of turning things around here. They really struggled on the CT side. That economy not in their favor. And obviously those untimely leg outs not being too beneficial to them at all either. But we got to see Stunna come in, and he got his, I think that was actually his first Pro League kill. So kudos to Stunna. He got 0 RWS, though, because they lost the round. Oh, no. XP3 missing that shot. Sean Garris around the corner. And the repeat comes down. Get around the corner. And that smoke should actually hold him back long enough for him to get out of it. Yes. So, 10-9. Winter Fox going to be on an eco round. Do you take this time to talk about what you want to do in the next gun round, Moses?
No, it's still early on. You don't have to do anything you don't have to do anything like that. But they are going to buy up their deagles, upgrade some pistols, try and do some damage. And like we know, Winter Fox dating all the way back to when they were, been mythic in the past, and even Luminosity, they like these deagles. So they bring 3 of them out on the board here, and combined with XP3's op, and he bought up armor. He's going to push B main. He's just going to push straight forward, try and grab a long-range kill, but meanwhile his team over at the A bomb site is pushed into door. Shroud finds a couple of free kills, and it's just Devil Walk over here. He's going to get smoked out. So this round might already be over, and XP3 is going to be in another situation where he's got a long time to try and save that AWP.
Yeah, that rotation not really even trying to come over towards the A bomb site. Sean Garris annihilates Devil Walk by truck side, and with these last 2 players being alive, Anger going to be here to try to support his teammate. XP3 does find the frag onto Freakazoid, so a little bit of a silver lining to this round, but starting to really ramp up that money here on the terrorist side. Look at that Shroud at 7,800. That's only going to go up after this round is over, and now XP3 is stuck in useless with an AWP and 2 players coming on his side. Anger's got to come up big, and he lets down XP3. XP3 switching over to the pistol, finds a shot, can't hit the no-scope, nothing cleans him up. And that is going to be the 10-10 tied ball game now as Cloud9 evening things up, and no rounds yet on the CT side. And you kind of touched on this before, Moses, with that pace being dictated by the terrorist side. Winter Fox, that ping disadvantage, it's a little bit difficult for him to adapt to that.
Yeah, and it's also just Cloud9. I mean, this is, you mentioned it, it was one of their home maps during that really, really good, 1 month stretch that they had this summer. And this was a map where they were doing this against some of the best teams, just great mid-control. And now look, once again, they're going to switch it up. They're all going to head towards the B bomb site. 4 members here. XP3 is going to have a lot to do, but he hasn't really peaked yet, but there it is. He gets a quick shot on the Freakazoid, a second one on the Shaw. That ping's not hurting him at all right now. Can't flick down quick enough to Shroud, but he's done the damage. Now the rotations are coming in. Devil Walk's going to drop out of vents, and he's got 2 more coming in behind him.
Yeah, but Shroud, nice peek from him. He's going to spot this push coming, and they got to get out in front of this smoke, but Shroud is just having a field day. Nothing backing him up as well, and it just gets annihilated, that push. Flowstick going to be our last man standing. Not much he can do with that bomb planted in B, and 3 players still alive for Cloud9. So this is going to be Cloud9 taking back that lead at 11-10. He's just going to try to hang on to this M4 for a rainy day.
Yeah, and that's just too many bodies to throw into the vents for Winter Fox. They had 3 guys come in there. No one really, I mean, that's kind of the one thing with that double op setup when you have 1 op over at B and you put a bunch of players in mid. I mean, no one was there to really back XP3 up whatsoever. So he gets 2 kills, but from there, 3 members streaming through a tiny choke point. They just get mowed down by Shroud and Nothing, who play it very patiently, don't commit into the bomb site, watch for that kind of a play. And they manage it very, very well. Flow6 able to save this AK-47, but it's not going to matter. I mean, that's only good for a few more rounds, and then all of a sudden you're like, Winter Fox, you got to put a round up on the board at a certain point. You just got to stop Cloud9.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually went for a force buy here. They could go FAMAS's, and there you go. They're going to drop an M4, FAMAS's for the rest of them, and this is where, right here is where WinterFox needs to make their stand. This is going to be extremely expensive if they don't make the stand right now, and Cloud9 is going to go up to maybe a 13 or a 14 scoreline before WinterFox has another solid buy.
Now look, more aggression over towards the B bomb site. Anger smokes off the vents and he pushes out B. He's just hiding behind this box. There's a couple players he can deal with, but he can't win that first battle. Nothing gets dinked. Down to 9 HP, he's been dealt damage, but he wins the duel anyways. And now Cloud9, they have Shroud out in mid, who's getting tagged up through the smoke, but he can't find the kill. Lex meanwhile trades it out. There it is. Sean cleans up XP3. Now they've got mid control. The defense has been forced back.
Yeah, and the defense extremely spread out. You can see Lex rotating back towards the Z hallway, and you've got one player in A, one player in B, and one player in mid. So this terrorist force just has free reign on whatever they want to do, and Skadoodle is going to pick off Lex. You can just see him honed in on that position, and Flowsick drops at A, and that's going to be the bomb site open for business. Devilwalk's going to try to make some sort of a play happen. Nothing going, a little bit of a risky play there, but Skadoodle coming over towards Vince. He's just looking for Devilwalk to push into checkers, and there it is, takes him down. 12-10 now, Cloud9, and again, just very methodical here on their terrorist side, switching up the pace over and over again, and just not really a whole lot that they can do on the CT side.
No, that time they got beat up. I mean, they did decent in the early round, but they got put into a 3-on-4 situation, and all three were just so spread out. It was one at A, one at B, and one over towards mid connector. And when one player gets aggressive, and that was in mid connector, he tries to make a play, try and grab some information, but Skadoodle just plays it patiently, watches for that kind of a play, and gets picked off. So no ability for WinterFox is there in the mid-round to group up and come up with something together, and now we're going to see Cloud9 stream out for mid-control once again. 3 members out. There's a crossfire set up for the CTs, but they only have pistols. Doesn't matter. XP3 is going to get a headshot anyways. That's Freakazoid down.
Yeah, that's a great early find, and there you go. Flowsick actually coming out from Sandbags, takes down nothing, long range with the 5-7. Shroud is able to trade him out, but again, they've still got 2 players over here by Catbox. Sean's going to be able to find one of them. That was Lex. The other one is XP3, who's down to only 16 bullets in that CZ75, but again, 3-on-3 situation and only pistols here. Devilwalk holding in the B bomb site again by himself. But look again how spread out they are on the CT side. They have no double up at any of the bomb sites, and they're just looking to try to find any kind of information. Shroud actually getting spotted there at Boost is a nice little bit of a little tidbit of information there for the CTs.
Yeah, this is something where one of Devilwalk or Anger has got to just take the initiative and just start pushing up and finding intel, because they're not going to win this round if they can't group up and gamble towards a bomb site. XP3, he doesn't see anything in mid. He's going to rotate back towards A, so at least they have 2 players here, but it's just a guess. I mean, this isn't because they have any kind of intel. So Cloud9's going to walk in here. They're going to throw the Molotovs. Be very careful about this execution. They spot one over at the forklift, and they take him out, and Shroud gets the second one onto Anger as well, so they can't combine for anything. Devilwalk in a 1-on-3, and the bomb's going to get planted.
He does have that Desert Eagle again. He's just looking for anything to cross over. Skadoodle just watching for the flank, but they've got positioning at quad, positioning in sight, and positioning in A main, and this is just a really impossible setup. So he finds the AK-47 that was down in mid. He's just going to try to hang on to this for the next round, but 13-10 is going to be your scoreline as Cloud9 flawless on T side so far.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really brought up. This is about to be their 8th round in a row, and the money is just huge. Shroud's got 10K right now. Skadoodle's got 13,000. Nothing's at 9,800. There's just so much money on this T side. This is a situation we haven't seen it out of WinterFox yet, but they might just want to take their pause right now, talk things over, try and get back into it, because they're going to have a bye in the next round, and they need to come up with some kind of a plan. And even if they don't have a plan, just give yourself 2 minutes to recenter, to calm down, and just hit some shots in the next round.
Shroud is on the prowl, and he is just going to take Devilwalk down. No response whatsoever, so no AK out of that. And like you said, I wouldn't be surprised to see the pause here, but it doesn't look like they're going to use that, and they're just going to go right into a double-up setup. So maybe they did have a little bit of a brief discussion there as the round was dwindling down as to what they want to do here. But again, like you said, just when you're feeling the pressure and all that kind of thing, it's sometimes nice to just take 2 seconds to sit back and breathe.
Yeah, it's going to be a double-op setup, but it's a little bit unorthodox. Normally with these 2 ops, you see a lot of pressure put over towards mid. They're going to pop flash Devilwalk into A main, but Skadoodle doesn't get blind whatsoever, and he drops him for free, so 5-on-4.
Not going to win that battle. And nothing on the Flowsick. They're just going to fall back and boost up in mid, even though they got 2 picks over towards A. That rotation from the CT's already on that side. And with that boost over mid, they're just going to hightail it back over to the B bomb site. And this is going to be a free open bomb site unless Anger can get there and do something special really quick.
He's going to get here, but he's going to be smoked out in a second. And just now it gets bloomed. And there's a little bit of a crack that he can spot through, but he doesn't want to commit to that fight. Lex is pushed through A main. Tries to get a quick flank going, but nothing executes him, and now they even know where Anger is, because he drops Freakazoid trying to push through the smoke, but this is all Cloud9 at the moment. He's even getting spammed through the wall. Shroud puts up his 27th. He's really come alive.
Yeah, him and Nothing having some pretty solid rounds here, but 27 and 13. And we talked about Lex. He was 20 and 8 at the beginning of the half. Well, he's gone 1 and 9 since then. So really struggling here on the CT side. All of WinterFox struggling on the CT side. That's now 9 rounds in a row, 10 rounds in a row? 9 rounds in a row for Cloud9. So they have just run the gambit coming right back into this one.
Yeah, I think I think you just kind of pointed out, no one on WinterFox really having a good half right now. They can't even get any of these kills early on, so there's no chance for people playing at other bomb sites to get into the action. I mean, how many like 1-on-3, 1-on-4, 2-on-4 situations have we seen WinterFox? And now Freakazoid, no communication that he can be this close up connector or up highway, and he gets free damage on the left and forces him back into quad. There goes XP3. Lex is about to get executed. Shroud drops him. Shroud with 2 more entry frags, and Freakazoid even wins their shot and kills Flowstick and A-Main, so WinterFox, no real chance to even respond.
And all these nades over to truck side. So much damage being dealt. Freakazoid's going to push up anyway, but he's going to lose his life. But at this point, it's a 3-on-2 with the post plant and the A bomb site, and there's really nothing that WinterFox can do. They're not hitting their shots. They're just getting dropped all across the map, like you said, Moses. And, you know, we did talk about that briefly, about how they're not really able to get anything going. So having a really rough start to this half, and again, Nothing finds Anger. That's a rifle out of their hands that they're trying to hang on to for the final round, or yeah, for what's potentially the final round. And with Double Walk at 6 HP and CT spawn, I don't think they're going to be checking that area, but it'd kind of be a little humorous if he died to the bomb here, but he won't. Just loses a point of armor.
15 to 10 now. Still no pause out of WinterFox, and it might just be too far gone at this point, because Cloud9 just steamrolling 10 straight, so WinterFox about to get goose egged on their CT side. Skadoodle with that AWP. He really hasn't he's only got 11 kills in this match. He really hasn't been too impactful, but he's just been holding angles. Yeah, it doesn't really matter when you have Shroud
yeah,
coming and killing everything.
That's what I was going to say, Shroud. I mean, Freakazoid, he's not even, I mean, he's 11 and 21, so he's doing his job gathering the intel, but Shroud has just been the one that's been getting all of the entry frags every single round. Him and Nothing have just been completely annihilating WinterFox, and it's kind of crazy to say that he's sitting on 29 kills coming into the 26th round, just based off of the fact that they did so poorly in the first half.
Another round where Cloud9 with a really good read. Just WinterFox cannot guess the correct bomb site. They have a setup, and Anger's the only one in the B bomb site. They've stabilized just a little bit here. Anger and XP3 get the first 2 kills. They're in the bomb site right now. Molotov's reined in, but they managed it perfectly. And now we're going to see WinterFox on the rotate over here. Skadoodle not able to find anything, just trying to spam through the box. And XP3 is going to get a second one. Anger's going to get one. This is going to be their first kill of the half, or the first round win of the half.
I don't know. Sean Garrett's coming in. He's going to find the first one. Looking for the second one. He gets that one as well. He's got one over here by headshot. Finally, XP3 shuts him down, but that got real scary real fast for a second there for WinterFox.
Yeah, that would have just been icing on the cake, wouldn't it have been? If they
can't
win a 4-1.
A 1v4.
But 11 to 15,
Yeesh.
I mean, despite everything, despite this kind of an abysmal half from WinterFox, it's still not out of reach quite yet. I mean, they'd have to just kind of turn things on and get going with it, but they're only 4 rounds behind based off that really, really solid T-half.
Yeah, but see, that's kind of the crazy thing is the score was so skewed in the first half. That's really the only reason why it looks so close. If Cloud9 would have started off on the T side, then this could have been a completely different story. You know, Skadoodle does open up on the Lex, so that's a great early advantage here for the terrorist side of Cloud9. So they're just looking to shut this one down. They molly out the sandbags for the second time this round. Nobody else home, and they've got full mid control.
Oh, and Anger's the one watching mid. He's the one in connector. He's the one who's got to make a stand here or have a little bit of a presence. But he's got a FAMAS and he's got no nades. He has no tools really to do anything with it. So you can see where the defense over at the A has to position. Devilwalk's actually going to get aggressive. It's their only real option. And there's Flowstick. Nice shot onto Freakazoid coming up highway. Eliminates that. Skadoodle gets a nice leg shot. And Shroud continues his tear, grabbing A. Anger finally peeks through connector and gets eliminated. And now Nothing. He gets a kill of his own, a second one. That opens up the A bomb site. 1-on-4 for XP3. And this is going to be Cloud9's match here any second now.
And there it is. It only took 1 second after you said that. Skadoodle finishes it off, gets the final off frag of the round, and that's going to be 16 to 11 in favor of Cloud9. Looking like a little bit of a shaky start, but they just completely decimate on their terrorist side. That was a huge, huge half.
Yeah, and we knew, I mean, this is a map that you mentioned before we even started, Cloud9 just so proficient on. It was one of their home maps going into all their success this summer. So obviously very good. They had, I mean, you could just see the calls that they made. They were switching things up, whether it was going to be fast mid or, put a lot of pressure on the A bomb site or just rush into the B site quickly. So WinterFox could never really get a good read on what was coming, and no success on the defense to get kills early on. They could never stall out an attack for rotations to come in. So just all around a pretty dominant match, dominant half at least from Cloud9. But that CT side they had was really worrying, even with some of the internet issues that C9 struggled with.
Yeah, I mean, a 10-5 halftime score, WinterFox on Terra's side. I mean, they really took it to him, and it was really all on the back of Lex there with 20 frags in the first half, but he ended up the entirety of that match, I think, with 22 kills, so he only got 2 kills the entirety of that second half. And, I mean, it was not a short second half because obviously they needed to win 11 rounds in order to put that one down, so they played 12 total rounds in the second half, and he only gets 2 kills. So amazing on their terrorist side, a little lackluster on the CT side. But again, WinterFox playing at that disadvantage with the ping, I think that they'll be just fine once they get those players back onto the North American side of the world and try to get a little bit more practice in and get things under their belt. But with that being said, that's going to be it for the evening for us tonight, guys. We only had the 2 matches, but join us for the rest of this week because we are going to have more matches coming up before the majors. So ESL ESEA TV bids you adieu for the evening. My name is Mega Man. You can follow me on Twitter at MegaManTV, and you can also follow my comrade over there at JMosesOT. And we will see you guys next time.